Young love. Building a successful home, do you remember? What love felt like when you were young? That feeling of having nothing, but owning the whole world. Today, I want to share a story about a young couple who turned that feeling into a real, tangible home. It's a story about love, struggle, and the incredible power of building a life together from scratch. Let's call them Leo and Mia. They met in college, two dreamers with pockets that were almost always empty, but hearts that were always full. After graduation, they moved into a tiny apartment. The walls were thin, the rent was high, and their furniture was a quirky collection of hand-me-downs and street-side finds. Their first dining table was just a cardboard box. It wasn't glamorous, but it was theirs. They'd sit on the floor, eating instant noodles, and talk for hours about their future. They dreamed of a house with a small garden, a kitchen big enough to dance in, and a front porch where they could grow old together. Many of their friends were chasing high-paying jobs in big cities, buying fancy cars, and going on exotic vacations. Leo and Mia, however, chose a different path. They decided to invest in the dream, brick by brick. They both took on extra freelance work, sacrificing late nights and weekends. Mia learned how to budget like a pro, tracking every single dollar. Leo became an expert at DIY repairs, fixing leaky faucets and wobbly chairs with the help of online tutorials. Their friends sometimes didn't understand. Why are you working so hard? You should be enjoying your 20s. They say. And there were moments of doubt. There were arguments over money, moments of exhaustion where they felt like giving up. It's tough when you see your peers seemingly living the high life while you meticulously saving for a down payment. But then they would look at each other and remember why they started. Their shared goal was a powerful glue that held them together. They made saving fun. They had no-spend weekends where they'd explore local parks, have picnics, or binge-watch movies at home. They learned to cook amazing meals together instead of eating out. Their tiny apartment, once just a temporary space, became a cozy sanctuary filled with laughter, the smell of home-cooked food, and the sound of shared dreams. It wasn't about deprivation. It was about prioritizing. They were building something more than just savings. They were building a partnership. One of the biggest turning points was when they started their dream home jar. Every time they saved money by not buying something they wanted but didn't need, like a fancy coffee or a new gadget, they would put the cash they saved into the jar. Watching that jar fill up was incredibly motivating. It was a visual reminder of their progress, a tangible symbol of their shared discipline and commitment. It wasn't just about the money. It was about the daily choices they were making for each other and for their future. After 5 years of relentless saving, planning, and teamwork, they finally had enough for a down payment. I remember the day they called me, their voices bursting with excitement. They had found it. It wasn't a mansion, but it was perfect. A small, charming house in a quiet neighborhood with a little patch of green in the back that was just begging for a garden. The kitchen was just big enough for them to dance in, and it had a front porch. The day they got the keys was unforgettable. They walked into the empty house, their voices echoing in the rooms. There was no furniture yet, just like in their first apartment. They sat on the floor in the middle of the living room. Not with instant noodles this time, but with a bottle of sparkling cider they had saved for this very moment. They weren't just homeowners. They were architects of their own happiness. But buying the house was just the beginning chapter. The house needed a lot of work. The paint was peeling, the floors were scuffed, and the garden was a mess of weeds. But where others saw problems, Leo and Mia saw potential. They saw a canvas, armed with paint rollers, toolboxes, and an unshakable spirit. They got to work. Their weekends were no longer about freelance gigs. They were about home improvement. They spent hours watching tutorials, learning how to paint walls, lay flooring, and build garden beds. Their first project was the kitchen. They painted the cabinets a cheerful bright white and installed a new backsplash themselves. There were mistakes, of course. There was the time Leo accidentally drilled a hole in the wrong wall, and the time Mia spilled an entire can of blue paint on the floor. But they learned to laugh at their mishaps. Every mistake was a lesson, and every completed project was a victory they celebrated together. The house slowly transformed. The once dull walls were now painted in warm, inviting colors. The scuffed floors were replaced with smooth laminate they installed themselves. The weedy backyard became a flourishing garden, filled with tomatoes, herbs, and Mia's favorite flowers. Every corner of the house told the story of their effort, their teamwork, and their love. The bookshelf Leo built, the curtains Mia sewed, the lopsided but love-filled birdhouse they made together for the garden. Their friends, who once questioned their choices, now loved visiting. Their home wasn't the biggest or the fanciest, but it had a warmth that no amount of money could buy. It was a home built not just with wooden nails, but with shared dreams, compromises, and countless hours of hard work. It was a living testament to their partnership. One evening, I visited them. They were sitting on their front porch watching the sunset. The garden was in full bloom, and the air smelled sweet. They weren't the same kids who sat on a cardboard box eating noodles. They were still dreamers, but now their dreams had a physical address. They had built more than a house. They had built a life. Leo told me, the hardest parts were also the best parts. Every challenge we overcame brought us closer. This house isn't just a financial asset. It's a record of our journey together, Mia added. We learned that a home isn't something you buy. It's something you build, day by day, with the person you love. It's in the shared chores, the late night talks, and the quiet moments of just being together. Their story is a powerful reminder that building a successful home is about so much more than money. It's about shared vision, mutual support, and the willingness to work together through thick and thin. It's about finding joy not just in the destination, but in the journey of building something meaningful together. It proves that with love, patience, and a whole lot of teamwork, even the biggest dreams can be built from the ground up. The foundation of a strong home isn't concrete. It's the unwavering partnership between two people who believe in each other. So, if you're a young couple just starting out, feeling overwhelmed by the future, remember Leo and Mia. Start small, dream big, and most importantly, do it together. Your home is waiting for you to build it. If you like this video, please give me a like and subscribe. Thank you.